Happy feet. Wombo combo.
That ain't Falco.
That ain't Falco.
I'm gonna skip all the bollocks and jump right into it. See, so many times people, like random fucking plebs, ask me usually when I'm farming, and yell or something pops up, "Hey man, how do you get a KD of 10?" And usually out of sarcasm, taking a piss, I always reply, "Oh, I'm just trying out a new aimbot or using a hack, god mode, etc, etc." And it's so fucking hilarious how half the time the replies that I do get would usually gonna go like, "Oh, report it," or "At least you're honest," shit like that pops up. It's just unbelievable. And there's a reason when you play, most people's KD is at 2 and not 4, or the KD is at 5 and not 10. And exactly the same situation with kills per minute. And one, or you might even say, "Oh, stats don't matter in PlanetSide 2, man." Yeah, well, they don't really. And if you play just fucking about, fair play, you will have shit stats even if you might be good. But a lot of people don't. They play to kill, and their stats can reflect how they play. It can give you some idea if a player is a spastic or not. Like, for example, kill death ratio alone will not tell you if a player is good, even if he's playing infantry only. So for instance, he's playing infantry only and has a KD of 10. That doesn't say shit. The guy might be just fucking barely peeking out of corners or playing in a spawn room all the time. Or a guy has a kill per minute of 2 or 3, but his KD is just around 1 or 2 barely. Those two stats in itself are conflicting. Like I said, one guy might play like a complete faggot and avoid dangerous situations and thus not die much, which in turn causes your KD to rise. Or you can go complete fucking YOLO spastic mode and rush into rooms head on first, just jump in with a ladder assault, throw a fucking C4 on the floor and try to get as many kills as possible before a fucking scat max shoves a scat cannon up your asshole. You can see this everywhere all the fucking time. Aiming there, so I'm just gonna aim at the window. And I got fucked. I'll get him. I got fucked by that man. Let me just say this. If you want to have higher stats just to boost your small EPEENIS, then it will be a lot harder for you to rise your stats than if you actually like to play in a way that makes you gain more kills, makes you gain stat. See, I don't know, maybe you enjoy watching your response screen rather than going out and shooting at, the players. Maybe you enjoy just looking at that timer tick down over and over again. Because sometimes I kill some players and they're battle rank 100 or, battle rank 40, and their KD is like fucking 0.3. That's not even fucking remotely imaginable. I mean, like, what the fuck? They spend more of their game time in the fucking response screen than actually playing the game. There's no fucking wonder people quit this game before they even get to like battle rank 10 or so. And thing is, when it comes to farming, not being good at 1v1, but farming, so getting many kills as possible without dying much, right? Misunderstand one point. You don't have to have a fucking incredible accuracy of like 40+% with a headshot ratio of like 50+% in order to farm like fuck. In fact, you can be below average, in headshot ratio. You can be as low as 15% with accuracy as low as 25% or so. And you can still easily run around with a KD higher than 6 with a kills per minute higher than 2. Though accuracy helps a fuck ton, of course, and the better your aim is, the better you will do in the game. It's a shooter game, for God's sake. But it is a factor that depends quite a bit on certain things, which you might not be able to change, such as FPS issues, or a shitty mouse, or a shitty surface for the mouse, But luckily, aim is such a minor factor when it comes to farming. And I see people all the time going, "Oh, but I have 30, 40 FPS, so there's no fucking point for me to, I will never get like really good stats even if I tried. It's like a fucking fat bitch saying, "Oh, I'm not fat. I'm 250 pounds. I'm just big bones, big boned. I'm just, genetically prone to retain fat." I mean, Jesus Christ. You know, it's just the FPS issue. If you have FPS over 40, if you have 40 FPS in a large battle, you can easily be one of those annoying fucking farmer players that pisses everybody off as soon as you pop into the base. And see, when it comes to farming, there's no real biggest factor. All small things add up, such as knowledge of the bases or use of the resources at hand that make you into a farmer. Most good players do these specific things, and I see this all the time. They do these things without realizing what the fuck they're doing. Like, they're playing tactically without even realizing. They just go, "Oh, I'm just farming." One of the players does this probably that without realizing that usually just screams out, "The farm is real!" But yeah, they play in a way that actually, when you think about it quite deeply, there's a lot of thought that comes into play, but yeah, they simply know if they do X, they will get a result Y, and it's just simple as that. Now, I won't go into any specific detail or skills that come into play when you want to farm, but I'll start with the most common and basic fucking skill. And yes, it is a skill, which is situational awareness. Now, I don't understand how people in this game seem to react so fucking slowly to stimulus. It is absolutely ridiculous. From videos, that I see, on YouTube, whatever, a lot of people play with the default field of view, which is what, 65? Now, lower field of view have its advantages, right? But I'll get to those in another video in the future. But a low field of view means you might not spot that asshole prick light assault flying up the tower to farm you. And if your field of view is, for instance, maxed out to 74, then you are in a way gimping yourself in one specific way, which I'll explain later. It's not necessarily gimping yourself, because there's huge advantages to it, but you can manipulate field of view, which actually allows you basically to kill people faster. It makes your aim better. It makes your headshot ratio better. And you can manipulate that factor to make you seem better at those stats than you actually are. But like I said, this video just putting up in general so you spastics can look out for it in the future, I'll hold your hand and take you through the steps one by one. Well, if you're not a complete fucking monk, it will definitely make you play better. It will definitely make you die less and kill more. Initially it might seem like you have to think constantly what to do in order to farm like crazy cunt. But after you do it several times successfully, it becomes second nature. You learn the skill of farming, basically. And of course, this doesn't apply to players like BKNE. Those guys simply reach the peak of PlanetSide 2 skill, and there is absolutely no more for improvement. If you want to play the best possible game you can in this PlanetSide 2 game, you should model BKNE players, honestly. Those guys are the best. But, I'll leave you with one thing. You see, it's been, almost 3 years or something? Or 3, I don't even fucking know, that this game has been out. And this long time, people develop habits. Now, habits are not necessarily good habits, but a lot of people get these fucking things that they do, and I see this specifically. I won't mention any names, but there are specific players that do certain things that when you see their name in a specific base, you know they'll be in a position X with class Y. You just know. So a lot of people by now have really fucking bad habits, and that is one of the biggest reasons why people just seem just sort of shit. You bunch of shitters. It's true. And and I'll leave you with one trick that I want you to try. You cannot try it. You might think I might be trolling you. You don't know. You don't know unless you try. But this applies especially to VS weapons because of the recoil, initial recoil from the first shot. For instance, get a gun like Orion. Well, everybody, Orion. Use the laser sight, not the forward grip, the laser sight, and set your field of view And now this is weird, and I change the field of view quite a bit, quite often, for reasons I'll mention maybe later. But usually set it from 67 to 69, you know, see what you like more. And then use the ×2 sight, not the ×1. Aim this, well, now the next bit is common sense, you know, aim at the people's upper chest and let the recoil play for you. The recoil will make it that the last shot most of the time will be at the head. And play for a few days with that setup, and then after you're sort of comfortable with that setup, switch to ×1 sight and nudge your field of view couple of points to like 70 or 71 if needed. And you'll be surprised at, you know, certain accuracy stats that will change if you do this right. This game is fucking weird, and there's shit ton of these sort of little weird game mechanic things that stick out everywhere, and it's just fucking hilarious how most people aren't even aware of it. And what is it? It's like 11 minutes. Well, I hope you wasted 11 minutes of your life, and yeah, I'll send out more videos in the future to actually hold your hand and teach you how to play properly. And yeah, have fun. You can go fuck yourselves. Are you shooting? You full auto shotgun piece of shit.
No, I didn't use it.
I heard it. I heard it.
Brawler, it's a brawler.
Alright.
It's like a normal one.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay.
I just